I want to bring up my friend Larry. Yay. Everybody loves Larry. Larry's part of NFT Oasis, and I thought it'd be fun for us to have a conversation together.
Yes.
And I'll ask you some questions about what you're working on.
All right. Well, first of all,
Smile for the camera, Larry.
First of all, I love this gentleman. We met Tuesday night. Like everything in this space, I was told that in the very first NFT NYC, he just showed up and said, I'm going to just start interviewing everyone. Didn't ask for anything, wasn't part of it. He just showed up and said, I'm going to start. So he has amassed hundreds, if not thousands,
Probably 1,000 over the 5 years.
Thousands of interviews, including like really documenting the history.
Yeah,
which is
been fun.
Like the Devin and the other guy.
That's right, Devin and Alex from OpenSea.
Like when OpenSea was sort of like this sad little dinghy in a puddle, and everyone was like, what's an NFT? Is that a government agency, or they're going to spy on you? And then like when they sort of got big, and then they got really big. So I just showed up as a Rolling Stone reporter.
He jumped on Clubhouse with us.
I jumped on Clubhouse.
That's how it all started.
And I showed up as a Rolling Stone reporter a year ago, and Jody Rich just said, why don't you just come on stage with us at the town hall, like this historic place where like the women's suffrage movement started in New York. And he's like, who do we have next? Oh, Alexis O'Hanlon, he founded a Reddit, you know? And I was in the audience, and suddenly I was on stage, and that's the spirit. We talk about NFTs in the future. It's the spirit of this community right now that's just red hot.
It is. So the talk that you have is why NFTs now are like 1991 internet.
Yes, exactly. So here's the thing, is that the big problem that we all face is friction to entry.
Yes.
The big problem. We talked about meeting on Clubhouse. In Clubhouse, I could click on something, and I was talking to him, or I was having a fight with someone, or I was suddenly like new best friends with some celebrity that I would never meet in real life. And it was just one click. And so the friction to entry, which is slowly being dissolved piece by piece, inch by inch, will eventually be the thing that takes over everything. So Time Magazine just recently did, on August 15th, a cover called Welcome to the Metaverse. And it was also, somebody cleverly put a 1994 cover of Time Magazine, which said, what's this weird thing, the internet, you know? And it was like, is it a tube? Do you listen to it? Like, you know, and so they put the two side by side, and we're in that moment right now.
Yes.
So Ken Burns is the great documentarian who has studied our history, the Civil War, the Vietnam War, the Holocaust, great, you know, Thomas Jefferson, people like that. He talks about moments in history when lightning strikes, when history goes along for a long time in one way, and then suddenly it goes straight up. And we saw it in the 15th century in Florence, where suddenly you had Botticelli and Michelangelo and Machiavelli and Da Vinci and all of these people in one place at one time. Yeah. And it's hot, and that's what's happening in these rooms right now, in these conversations right now, is we are in a moment that may not happen again in our lifetimes. And that's what's so special about it.
So we agree. We all agree. We can clap for that. You've been through different cycles of technology, and with every cycle, you've remained an artist. Not just an artist as yourself, which you certainly are a very accomplished artist, but you are a co-artist with so many. Yes. For those that may not know some of the folks you worked with, would you mind name dropping for the sake of people maybe putting their phones down and listening a little bit more intently to what you have to share?
So, you know, it's probably nothing, but you may have heard of David Bowie, Bono, Van Halen, Sean Lennon, the Beach Boys, Ricky Martin, Brandy, charitable things like the UN, World Central Kitchen, many, many others. And it's a lucky thing. I think we were having a conversation at lunch. I was taught by some very high-level people about being talented and kind. And that, it was Queen. Like, I was a kid smoking pot, driving around, listening to, like, Sheer Heart Attack and Bohemian Rhapsody. And then 3 years later, I was opening for Queen in soccer stadiums.
Right.
And they were so nice. They were like, if you're on our tour, you're family.
Yeah.
And so that gave me a bar to shoot for. If these people can sell out stadiums, can be huge stars, and be thoughtful to the smallest people in the room. Like, it's like being in a restaurant and being kind to the busboy clearing your table. Who am I to be a big shot? It's an honor.
Yeah.
And we talked about this honor that's here right now.
Yeah.
And he brought up this idea that there's an honor among all kinds of people. People came in with crazy costumes. I was with Crypto Nova. He looked like someone who'd be on, like, the, when you go to the airport, they'd pull him off in a separate room and say, who is this guy? But
It's Halloween every day for Crypto
Yes.
Nova.
Yes, so we're all in this wonderful moment together.
Yeah. So as you worked with these world-class artists
Yes.
that have these incredible legacies, many of us have been impacted by their art one way or another. You've seen all these technological revolutions happen. So in the title of your talk, you mentioned today with NFTs is very similar to Internet 1991.
Yeah.
Can you talk a bit about what are the things that put wind in the sail of a creative, and what are roadblocks that creatives should be aware of when these new technological advancements come on the horizon?
Well, some of it for me as a creative. So for a long time, people sold records.
Yeah.
And then Steve Jobs came along and said, I can put just 10,000 songs in your pocket, or I can put it on your phone. And things naturally evolve. And so for a long time, people had multiple sources of income. And one of the advancements was streaming. So I can have my music streaming. That's really exciting. The entire music business went swooping downhill for many, many years. I think there was some number where I'd have to have 1.5 million streams to make $1,000.
Right.
And then last night at the party, Spotty Wi-Fi, the crypto rapper star of this community right now, he did a drop and it sold out instantly, and he made about $200,000. I'd have to have hundreds of millions of streams to have that. So the advantage here is that I can put out music that isn't in competition with Dua Lipa or J Balvin or Drake. I can put out something that I produced 20 years ago that has rarity and utility and that's special, and it interacts with fans rather than them just consuming it.
That's good.
One other piece is that if I have 10 million people listen to my song on Spotify this month, I don't know who those 10 million people are. Spotify does.
Yeah.
They have their emails.
Yeah.
I don't. But if I'm here and I'm making some creative thing on any of the platforms, I know who my collectors are, and I have a direct relationship with them.
Yeah. Can you tell us a bit about NFT Oasis? Everybody's seeing this up here. They're wondering, they really want to look at their phone and go to the website and find out what it is, but they're waiting for you to tell them.
So I'm supposed to be showing you a slide deck, and I'm failing miserably.
Is that what's happening?
So-
Do we need the power, Larry?
So
Do we need the power? Does it? Look at that.
All right, so very quickly, NFT Oasis is a very beautiful boutique metaverse that I'm really just the bridge, like the Secretary of State or something. I just bring people in. We're on Oculus, we're on computer, we're on, I'm just wondering where I click this
There you
to.
go.
And we've created all these worlds. And what we've been doing in these worlds is we've been holding concerts and talks. And it doesn't look like a Lego set from, a board game. It's like really beautiful work. We have these dream houses, and what we've been doing is doing art walks, and we've been launching people's careers. I met my first panel today on the art stage where I was emceeing. A woman came up to me, she said, my first ever opportunity came from being in an NFT Oasis art walk. And so you see, we've been creating these worlds. I'm gonna stop in a moment because I know time is running out, but we've created these beautiful worlds with avatars that have all kinds of skins, that have all kinds of special effects, all kinds of special things. And there's the missing piece. And the missing piece is when a lot of people come into Web3, they're like, give up after trying to set up a MetaMask or a Coinbase wallet because it's so complicated. And what do I do? And what if I don't put a comma after each word, my seed phrase, and is it going to erase? So we're creating an ecosystem of learning. Yeah. So an NFT will give you a free class to like Metaverse 101. And then the next time you'll get the next step. How do you create your avatar? So we're creating an ecosystem. We're creating all kinds of things. As you could see, on the bottom left here, there's Tony Robbins, who came in just to do one of his business mastery big shot conferences, and he liked the company so much, he said, I'm going to be an investor, and I'm going to be like an advisor, like, because this is really cool. G-Money came in. On the right, we have all these art walks. We've launched people's careers. I have a song from David Bowie that's never been released, and it's 20 years. And so we're going to be planning something really special, and not just saying, here's a song with a funny picture. We're going to give people the music so they themselves can each do their own version. If you're a parent and your son is playing guitar and you're going to spend 80 grand a year to send him to UCLA or NYU, like, think of like the gift of giving him like a song where he can play with someone who changed the world. Yeah. The world of music, the world of fashion, the world of creativity, the world of technology. So basically, this is something that I've never had a day job. Like, I do what I love. I even have a jacket that says do what you love.
Do what you love.
And there's a great artist in Miami who just, everything is like he'll paint, shoes that say do what you love. And so this is just so inspiring. Yeah. There's so much passion in it.
Well, you are inspiring, Larry. Larry, can we give Larry a hand?